Thank you. Director General of the Open University, Chairperson and members of the Board of the Open University of Mauritius, graduands of the Open University of Mauritius and your friends and family, staff members of the Open University, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It is a great pleasure to be here with you as you celebrate the achievements of these past years of hard work. Yes, you are now sitting and thinking that all those late nights, missed parties or family engagements, nights out with other friends were worth it in the end. You put in that extra effort. As we've heard, you have combined studies, family responsibilities and work responsibilities in many cases, and here you are today to reap the benefits. As you're taking the first steps towards your future careers, armed with these new qualifications, you'll be using these to better equip yourself to advance not only your own employment and your own prospects, but also the development of your country. It is wonderful to see the great range of disciplines that are represented here today and from which you are graduating: management, graphic design, English language, French language, education, marketing, business, human resource management and finance. There are others among the group of disciplines mentioned, but all of these are very important areas that are going to help you contribute to the development of Mauritius. And the Open University, a young university, as we've heard today, is playing a very important role in helping to transform Mauritius as a country and as a knowledge hub. At the level of the Australian High Commission, I'm pleased that we are supporting the Mauritian government's vision of promoting Mauritius as a knowledge hub, not just here in your own country, but for the region. And this is occurring also through a number of partnerships that exist between Australian universities and the University of Mauritius and other institutions here in your country that are dedicated to learning, to education and to research. Australia is also working with the Government of Mauritius to provide capacity building opportunities to the public sector, the private sector and also the NGO sector through its Australia Awards Scholarship Program, both for master's scholarships and for short-term scholarships. The Australian Government's development policy, Australian Aid, promoting prosperity, reducing poverty and enhancing stability. This policy recognises that tertiary education is a very important component of any investment in development. Through the creation of a skilled workforce and influencing individual behaviours, values and attitudes, higher education, as you yourselves have found, contributes to the formulation of highly educated individuals who are socially engaged and can effectively influence the development of your country. Higher education also improves the prospects for economic growth, for social cohesion, for democratic reforms and for good governance, which in turn contribute to the well-being of the whole society. So your new qualifications are an important tool for yourself but also for development, for yourself and for your country, and for the region, because Mauritius leads Africa and the Indian Ocean in so many areas of development. But it doesn't just stop here and now that you have your qualifications in hand and that you are graduated. You should be prepared to continue to advance in this process of learning and development, despite whatever obstacles come your way. Obviously, you must accept that your working environments, your family environments, your social environments will always be changing and that you will need to adapt to this. You've shown that you have skills to do that by taking on the task of learning, by showing the discipline that is required to be a student of the Open University and to succeed as you all have done. So continue to be innovative and look at ways in which you can continue to improve and to grow in the way you do things. And for all of those who may be interested in pursuing further studies, although you probably don't want to think about that today, having just reached your goals as you have, Do think about in the future considering applying for an Australia Award scholarship. We would love to welcome you down under to continue your learning journey. Well, it's always a great privilege, I find, to be invited to speak to graduates on a proud day like today, a day when you, the graduates, your families and friends who have supported you throughout this journey, and of course your professors and educators, can come together and feel proud of your achievements, not only of what you have achieved in your studies, but also of the sacrifices and the discipline that have brought you here. Perhaps I can share some stories from my own experience as a student. Along the way, perhaps you have had some failures, some ups and downs, some times when perhaps your marks were not what you had hoped for or what you expected. Perhaps you have failed an important exam along the way or a test in your learning journey. Yes, it's probably a cliche that you often learn more from your failures than from your successes, but I myself have had that personal experience. When I was a Rhodes Scholar studying at Oxford, I actually failed one very important exam. It meant I had to go back and repeat the whole year, all 5 exams, not just the one paper I'd failed. But I have never been so dedicated and so disciplined as I was in that next year. No more Oxford balls for me, no parties, no dates. I sat home at my desk and memorised every law case, every tutorial that I had been to, and passed, in the end, happily, every exam. But to this day, 25 years later, maybe I shouldn't reveal that, some time later, I still sometimes wake in a panic, having had a dream that I have exams for which I haven't revised sufficiently. I hope you don't have that experience as I do. But it certainly keeps me on my toes, always now preparing well in advance, and this has served me well in my career to date. Whenever I'm preparing for a conference, a negotiation, or giving a speech as I am today, I'm sure to do that preparation and to prepare well in advance. In your careers, just as in your studies, you will also have these ups and downs, these failures and successes. For those of you who are educators, who are going to be teaching in schools or perhaps universities yourselves, you can share this lesson with your students. Failure is disappointing, but it is an important way to learn vital life lessons. Another important contribution you should try to make when you go forward with your career will be to take up opportunities using the skills and lessons the Open University has taught you to try to contribute perhaps not just in your work life, but perhaps in some other way to the sustainable development of your country. In my work here as the High Commissioner, over 2 years so far in your country and also in the Indian Ocean region, I've been inspired by the growing commitment evident in Mauritius and the Seychelles, Madagascar and the Comores, of people working with NGOs, youth and environmental groups, Rotary and Lions clubs, working to make a difference in their spare time. One young alumni of the Charles Telfer Institute, with its Curtin University and Australian connections, has set up a youth NGO called Yes We Can, that works on environmental sustainability and support for vulnerable groups and communities in Mauritius. We have also worked with the Small Island States Climate Change Advocacy Hub, a group of young people coming together to advocate on environmental issues and the particular challenges facing small islands like Mauritius and the Seychelles, including innovative use of social media, Facebook, slam competitions. I didn't know what slam was until I came to Mauritius, but now I know. Using these modern methods to take your island perspectives to the rest of the world at conferences and meetings, and using social media as a tool. I see that quite a number of you today are graduating in graphic design, multimedia, information science. Why not use these skills outside your day job to help an NGO set up a website, or to run workshops for young people who might not have the funds to study formally, but who want to acquire new skills to help them go forward on their life journey? You can find some information on the High Commission Facebook page about some of these NGOs and activities. Why not get involved? Well, I would like to end by congratulating you once again on successfully completing your studies. While there will still be challenges ahead of you, I hope your newfound skills are going to help you day to day to overcome these challenges. And remember, with these challenges, and yes, perhaps some failures, there will also be successes and opportunities which you should not let pass you by. We all need to keep having our aspirations and dreams, even beyond our achievements like today. And we can work to achieve these by putting in that extra mile. The journey's not yet over. For some of you, it's just beginning, perhaps a new job, a new career path, a new direction that your studies has opened up to you. But I'm sure the most interesting parts are yet to follow. So dream big and remember the sky is the limit. Congratulations once again, and thank you very much for the opportunity to join your celebrations today.